Welcome to T-Boys TV. We are back again with another Hatter Show, obviously episode 153. And in this one, quite a lot to get into. Obviously, that unforgettable night at Kenilworth Road. Un-Four-Gettable night at Kenilworth Road, shall I say. Obviously, got playing again tomorrow. Newcastle away, which, is going to be a difficult game. St James's Park is always been one of them grounds that's been difficult to go to. I think they only lost once or twice there last season, something like that. And then obviously we'll, rate our transfer business that we've done in January as well. So yeah, let's get into it. So like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. I hope everyone's cool.
Yep, no, absolutely. Big up. No, a few people are waiting as well before we went live. So let's go through some comments. Jackie says, "Hi, Ty, Daz. Wow, what a game!" Oh yeah, no, absolutely. We'll getting into that. Big up to Luca as well. Says hi. Big up to Harry. Big up, lads. Hope you're well. Bet you're buzzing. What a win! Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll dissect it. I think some fans need Brighton out. Oh god. Big up to Stephen as well. He says, "Big up to both of us." So yeah, let's get into it. So Brighton, Dad. Going into it, we both thought, it would be goals. Ironically, I said 2-2, which obviously means 4 goals. I thought we'd maybe separate, the goals together, share them. But instead, we wanted all 4, and we got all 4. Could have got more. Your prediction, I believe it was 1-0, wasn't it? If I remember correctly. The lineup going into it was interesting. I remember saying before the game on my Instagram story, I was like, no Menji, which obviously was a bit gutting because how well he obviously performed against Everton. But it didn't mean anything, did it, in the end? Obviously Kaminsky in goal, Burke, Osho and Bell. Chio was on the right, Doughty was on the left, Lukonga, Barkley. And then it was quite interesting up front. So we went with Clark, Elijah and Morris. And then obviously the bench, Berry, Chong, Johnson, Krul, Ruddock, Nelson, Potts, Townsend, Woodrow. So for me, it was interesting to see Townsend on the bench, I'll be honest. And obviously 2 youngsters on the bench. Obviously Nelson had come out as well. He has extended his contract to Luton. So hopefully, like Johnson has at times, he gets an opportunity, hopefully in a game where maybe, we're in a good position, maybe. We can bring him on. So I've seen bits of him, and I do think he's got a bright future as well. But yeah, interesting there. Obviously, Menji being out, obviously didn't affect us in the end. But at first, we was a bit like, because how well we done against Everton. Going into it, I said you have to go with Morris and Elijah as well for me. Because how well, they linked up in the game against Everton as well. And obviously Brown was out as well, so that obviously gives us another option to go with Morris and Elijah. But interesting to see Clark start. Obviously, the only game I believe he has started in the Premier League before that was obviously Burnley. He was 50-50 in that game. He's still getting to the grips of things, but other than that, it's it was expected really, with obviously Menji being out, like I say. So yeah, interesting one. What did you make of the lineup, Dad, when you saw it?
Yeah, but it was good to see Clark start. Interesting, like say, with Townsend on the bench, but he has been looking sharper and sharper in each game. And then we stuck with Elijah Morris as well, and everything else is pretty much the same as it said. Maybe Burke starting. I think we might have said that possibly instead of Osho possibly at the time. I'm not sure, but it's good that we got a nice choice from defenders. Burke and Menji. Burke loves going forward. It's generally defend, but Menji's been defending really, really well. So it's nice to have that option.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. Hopefully with Burke, it's one of them where he doesn't get injured anytime soon, because we know what his injury record's like, and then it gives us, loads of options. Obviously, without going into it too much, Rob Edwards has said, today that it's good to have the amount of options we finally do. especially defensively. So yeah, big up to Harry. Says eating a chopped ice, watching TV. Bosh. Big up to yourself, mate. Big up to Paul as well. Says evening, lads. Big up to yourself. And yeah, mate, we are good. Thanks. Hope you're well. But yeah, going into the first half, we could not believe, like everyone in the chat, what we were watching. Obviously we watched it together, Dad. And the press we were doing, early on in the game is what me personally I've wanted to see in a lot of games, because you see it when we go at teams, you see what we can do. You look at the Arsenal game, for example, you look at the Liverpool game, for large parts of that game, very unlucky not to win that, as we all know. And, just press. And the thing is, when we sit back, I've seen a few people have said to me, oh, do you think Luton, if they go to a ground like, Anfield, should they, if they did go 1-0 up, should they sit back? No, not for me, because we're asking for it. You look at games like Brentford, you're asking to get punished. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I feel we should keep it up. Yes, it's hard to do it for consecutively for 90 minutes, but that's why you've got the options you've got as well to bring off the bench. Even Luke Berry, to be fair, when he's been coming on recently, he's actually just done a job and helped us, and then obviously, Townsend doesn't start a few games at the moment. So again, his experience will help. But we're very, putting the pressure on them early on. And Reece Burke, what I noticed, and I said it to you when we were watching it, Dad, is he was playing quite high up at times. Sort of seemed like it felt like he was free roaming a little bit in like a CDM sort of role. Obviously, he won the ball. Morris and Elijah, good link up, good little, 1-2 there by them. And then obviously the ball was played out to Chio, who obviously crossed it in towards Morris. And then it flicked onto Elijah, who made it 1-0 in 19 seconds, which was absolutely crazy. We were like, what is going on here? I remember you were saying to me, Dad, you need to actually dissect it again and see how that's gone in so quickly and what actually happened. But what a start, Dad?
Yeah, great pressure. But the confidence as well, the way we play it. Chio again involved initially, obviously for whipping it in. Morris doing what he does best, heading it down, and then Elijah's just there to nod it past the defender and the keeper. Great start. It was like, it's unusual that you see quick starts like that, especially in the Premier League. I don't think we'd scored a goal before the 15th minute of the season, to be honest. And so it was like, whoa. And then I thought, okay, that's good, as you do. That's a great start. Let's see what happens. And then, I don't know, a minute and a half later, 2 minutes later,
we extended that lead. Obviously, Lukonga, it was a great ball to Chio. Chio just put it past their keeper. I don't know why their keeper come rushing out like that. I did say to you before the game, he is a bit suspect. But Chio done what he had to do. What a ball it was from Lukonga. And there you go, 2-0, just like that. It was like, wow, really, what is going on here? Especially, for me personally, out of all teams, I wouldn't have expected this to be against Brighton. Because they are, good footballing side, as we know, and they do set up pretty well, in games. Granted, I know they were having a stage like us, and I said it going into the game where they have conceded a lot of goals, and like every game until they played West Ham. Obviously us was for the Newcastle game. But like still, they are a good side. Obviously they're a team in Europe, and I just didn't expect this. Especially with how we say as well with them, we're trying to move in a similar direction to them. In the sense of the way we recruit, and trying to get to that sort of position they're sort of in. So it's just crazy to see. But yeah, brilliant, well taken goal by Chio and great ball by Lukonga, wasn't it?
Again, like Chio, like his intelligence on the pitch, he was calling for it. He knew he bent his run. Lukonga, obviously, it's been at Arsenal, whatever. The quality to pass that, and as soon as the keeper, still then he had a lot to do, really. A lot of players, generally, maybe like other players we've had in the past, would have, not got it past the keeper. It was going in. It come back off of him. It was going in, but he finished it off. And then, I thought then that I could really, feel something was going to happen that game, because when we get going like that, we was doing that a lot. It reminds me of when we was in League One and we was just peppering teams and things like that. And again, we have been playing in the last few games. We've had more possession away as well. We've looked much more confident than we ever have done so far in the Premier League. If that makes sense. We're confident on the ball. We're not like trying to defend. We're actually trying to go forward a bit, measured passing and that. We found our level. We found our sort of the way how confident we are and things like that. So we found ourselves. Found your feet in the Premier League, and we just looked immense. Like, it's definitely the best I've ever seen us play in the Premier League, and we have played all right as well at home, pretty well in certain games and that. But that was just we just controlled it from start to finish. We didn't let up, and that's good to see. And we've got, we were talking before about the Canberra's going to be injured. Let's see what Lukonga can do when he comes in, and maybe we need another CDM and things like that. We just pushed on. We've got since Clark's come back into the sort of squad as well. I think that has helped in certain ways.
And we always said it as well with him when he was out. We are, especially earlier in the season, we were missing his creative spark. So, yeah. From
then I thought, and there was still times like just before that, I think. And one of the co-commentators was like, "Are they taking it, taking it a bit easy now, or are they?" And then bang, it was in, and it just worked so well. All the stuff that we've been working towards, and quickly as well. Chalk and cheese from the first game of the season. Absolutely just totally the opposite. And that shows the work that we've done. And you can't really be going backwards on that, in my opinion. You can only, get better as the season progresses. I saw an interview after the game with Elijah, and he said, come on strong towards the end of the season. So that's what we're known for, and he's right. So, yeah, I as soon as we went 2-0 up, I was pretty confident that we'd definitely get the win. Just it just felt like it, and we just all connected. No one was playing bad at all.
No.
And I know it was only the first couple of minutes and that, but as it was going, it just felt like that.
Yeah, no, it absolutely did. But yeah, talking about Chio, and to be fair, Harry, mate, I don't really, disagree, to be honest. Might sound mad, he says, but not right now. Maybe in the summer, but could see Man City after him. Not necessarily Man City, but I could see a top team after him.
Oh, yeah,
I went on this Luton Twitter space the other day, like getting my thoughts on the game and that. And I see a question was asked, what player would you? Obviously, it's done now, the January transfer window. But if someone was to come in with a late, person for one of our players, who would you say it'd be? A lot of people said Chio. A few people said Doughty as well. I was on the Doughty wavelength because how consistent he's been, whether he's been on the left side or the right side, but I could definitely see it, and again, you have to give massive shout out to the recruitment team. This was the first signing up a lot in the summer, wasn't it? And not necessarily our fans, but a lot of, neutrals are like, oh, we're doing rare tear, and he's turned out to be, definitely in the, top 5, players of the season so far.
Top 3, mate. Top 3.
Top 3. Yeah, top 3. Yeah, he's definitely, he's up there, as we all know. Obviously, you can put Kaminsky up there, you put Barkley. Obviously we didn't sign him in the summer, but Doughty. There's a lot of players there as well. So that's why I say top 5. But yeah, obviously the end of the season, like we always do, we'll do a review and see who is our player of the season. Because I'll tell you what, it'll be very interesting this season. That's for sure. Big up to sorry, not Harry, Hamo as well. He says hi guys, big up to yourself. And yeah, that is that. So going on to, like I say, obviously we were 2-0 up. Then we nearly made it 3-0. Clark, who I thought was really good in this game as well. Obviously Barkley played it into him, through ball into Clark, and he was very unlucky to be honest. It was a decent save by Steele. That was an unlucky opportunity. And then literally Barkley done something very similar to what he done, with the layoff of the pass. This time it was to Elijah. And this goal, I always felt as soon as he was 1-on-1, he was going to score. Just because everything he touched turned into gold in the game, essentially as well. And obviously it's a very great finish. 3-0, 3-0. And from that moment in, you know, I felt we were going to win the game because sometimes 2-0 can be a bit of a dangerous lead, as they say. But 3-0 for me, first half, that shut up shop for me. And I felt we were definitely going to go on to win the game. But lovely, lovely bit of play and a well taken finish from Elijah, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, because they had tiny patterns of play, but Pedro probably was their best player for it until he went off. But it was a great little, just working hard down again, flicking it on, and then Elijah making the run. And I was thinking, this on, and he's confident at the moment, top scorer for us. And yeah, good finish at the keeper's sort of near post as well. Squeezed it in, and perfect time to score it. Like I say, pretty much Brighton have got to come out in the second half and go at us and da da da. But it didn't they were done at half time. That was it.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was sort of like the nail in the coffin. And then moving on to the second half, obviously, we were very good again, just at them. We were trying to get more. We were trying to make it a cricket score. Honestly, the amount of chances we had. Elijah, great control, with his knee, brung it down, turned past their player, considering he was getting fouled as well. It's absolutely immense. And like I say, it goes back to his performance in this game where everything he touched just turned into gold, really. And then obviously he played it to Morris. And Morris was unlucky with the shot. And then obviously Clark did try and get on the rebound. He was slightly off, I'd say, but it was very unlucky. When we were watching it, I said he was very unfortunate. He played, obviously everyone will say Elijah, for the standout. Of course, rightly so, got the hat trick. As his control was phenomenal, like I say. But if I was to put someone else up there, I'd have went with Clark. You've got to bear in mind, like I say, that's his second Premier League start as well. He is still, getting the minutes under his belt, and just how good he was, his control, taking on players, his creative spark, like I say earlier, which we know he's very good at. He was very good in this game, and I felt very sorry for him when his goal didn't stand. But yeah, it was unlucky, really unlucky there, wasn't it, though?
Yeah, it was just a touch offside. But like, as you said, the way he was playing, he deserved to go. He come close, and two other shots before that as well, as you said. And yeah, I felt sorry for him a little bit, but still carried on working hard. His goal, if he keeps playing like that, he'll definitely be scoring because he gets in the right positions and that as well. So yeah, a little bit unlucky, but we were still coming out with the intensity and stuff. We didn't back off like earlier on in the season. We might have went right. Let's just sit back a little. No, like we believe in ourselves more and more, and I'll tell you, like that was just unreal. That's what we've been waiting for. Give someone a good eye in our own, and it was good to give it to them as well because show how much you've improved from when they first played you. And my God, didn't we do that?
Yeah, literally. But yeah, no, it was absolutely phenomenal. And then last main talking point, I'd say the game as a whole was obviously the 4-0. Doughty with a corner. And Pedro, mate, cheers for the assist. Yeah, cheers for the assist, mate, for Elijah to get his hat trick. You know what I mean? More Premier League hat tricks than Rashford. Let's also get that in. But yeah, very happy for Elijah, to get it. He thoroughly deserved it. Like I said, everything he touched turned to gold this game. His control was absolutely immense. Getting a hat trick, thoroughly deserved. And going back to what you said earlier, Dad, about, sometimes we start season slow. Even he does himself. I
Yeah,
remember last season, he got a lot of criticism, because he wasn't really chipping in with goals. But then I think Morris coming in, helped him as well. So he wasn't as reliant as we was on the season. We didn't quite get the playoffs. And, even this season, he started a bit slow. Again, a lot of the hat shows at the start of the season, if we was going to back anyone to score, it was going to be Morris. So, very happy for Elijah, the way he's grew on as the season's gone on, and absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He deserved it. He deserved his hat trick, and I'm very happy for him because he's down to earth as well, isn't he? Very humble as well. So, big up to Elijah. He's magic. But yeah, brilliant, wasn't it? That's to get the hat trick.
yeah, definitely. Headed back across, but his reaction, sharpness, in this game was unreal. So sharp, and he keeps, if he can put in them kind of performances more often, he's going to be one hell of a player. So we know, I rate him anyway.
Yeah.
And he's got back into the team, forced himself back into the team. But now that Morris is playing with him, they're both bouncing off each other. No, they're not necessarily two up front like they were in the championship, but they work. But they're still on the pitch together, and it's there. And they've got their creativity coming into them from all angles, which makes it them their job easier. They're getting the supply, and that's it. We found a way to do it, and we've got that balance in the team now. That was as clear as day. The balance now in the team is unreal. Defensive, goalkeeper, defense, the midfield now settled, the wingers, everything is so balanced. Once you've got that, it's very, very hard for other teams to break you down or without like real quality playing. They've got to be on the same level, basically. Do you know what I mean? And we've found that, so we're going to be even more difficult to beat. What we need to be doing is now the home form. Like we know we can just turn it on now. That's what we've been waiting for. We knew it'd be what we needed this season to keep us up. Now we do need to start picking up more points away, 100%. So let's start that with Newcastle.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's go through some comments. A lot of people inside, so big up to yourselves. Wow, what performance by Hatters. Big up to yourself, Geordie, as well, mate. Hope you're well. Elijah and his silky skills and goals. Yeah, literally. Like I said, mate, everything he touched turned to gold. Clark, every blade of Clark. Yeah, that's the thing as well. That's the thing, getting into them positions and that sort of thing. Very, very, unfortunate, like I say, not to get that goal. Yeah, well, for you guys, you'll be seeking revenge, and like I say, without getting into it too much, obviously we'll do it a bit later on, but it's just one of them grounds. It's very difficult. I'd put it up there, with Anfield, Etihad. One of them grounds. Like I say, I believe you guys only lost once or twice there last season, and I know one of them games was to Liverpool. Can't quite remember the other one. It might have been. It's like one or two, so I might even be wrong with that. But I know it's no more than two. Big up my homies. Hope you're well. Love from Denver. Big up to yourself, mate. Big up to yourself for tuning in. There you go. There we go, Dad. We're getting a bit worldwide out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, come on.
More goals than United as it stands. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, they scored 4, but so did we. So we're still above them with that. Obviously we've got them soon as well, so it's going to be a good game. I'll tell you what. If you're basing it on the results this week, that's going to be a good game when we play them. No, it should be a good game. Should be a good game for sure. So yeah, there we go with that. Chris says media Brighton as bad as Brighton lose 4-0. Me and everyone else, Luton deserve to win and batter Brighton. Yeah, exactly. We just went at them, and played to our strengths, and they were struggling. And that's what I've wanted to see us go at someone, because like I say, you look at performances like Brentford, where we sit back, we're asking for it. Even though we were very good in the game, I sort of felt that against Arsenal in the last 15 minutes as well. When we sort of sat back, we, obviously they got the free kick, which led to the goal. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them. Big up to Daniel as well. Says, man like T, big up yourself, mate. But yeah, moving on to the player ratings. Now, this is going to be interesting. I'll tell you that, because obviously top performance, clean sheet, 4 goals. Going to be interesting to see how this goes. But obviously, Kaminsky, obviously in goal. 2 big saves that he made in this game. One of them was the shot. I can't remember his shot, but Lamptey had the rebound and he hit it wide. But Kaminsky, when he was called upon, which weren't an awful lot, he didn't have to do much, which is it's quite interesting to say that this season. Let's be honest, a few times he's had to pull out double saves, that sort of thing. But when he was called upon in this game, he was good. He was good. So for me, I'll go with an 8 for Kaminsky, which might be quite high, but again, clean sheet as well.
I'm going to give him 7.5. Made a couple of good saves when he needs to. That's key for me, because sometimes if keepers haven't had nothing to do all game, they can switch off. But no, not him. It's probably his quietest game all season. He likes to make these saves. He likes to be involved. So let's save that till tomorrow. But yes, 7.5. He's kicking out was good. Patience on the ball. Comfortable when we was passing it around the back a little bit. We started to do a little bit, but not too much. Not as much as Brighton seemed to like to do. But yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, no, I didn't get why they were doing that. Even still at 2-0 down, I was like, what are they doing? They're just asking for it. But there we go. Luton, a massive big up. The only problem, said James Park, is the away fans are up in the skies. It's very hard for us. Yeah, it's like, obviously, it's obviously bigger, but it's, similar to Sunderland in that sense as well. It's very hard to create an atmosphere up in the skies, like you say. And it's just one of them grounds, like I say, they rarely lose there. So, as much as obviously we're buzzing, they also went to Villa and got an emphatic win. Villa, I think it leading up to nearly a year since they lost at home or something like that. And Newcastle went there and won pretty convincingly. So it's not going to be easy by any imagination, but it's going to be interesting. Obviously we did win the last game, so we'll have that confidence. But then again, it's just one end ground, so it's interesting. Kaminsky, big up to Billy as well. Evening, gentlemen. Kaminsky 8, says Jackie. It's the same as me. And yeah, Kaminsky so underrated. He is for sure. It's like I say, to get him for 2.5 million as well, absolute bargain, if we're being honest. So yeah, gonna be interesting. But yeah, moving on to the next player, we'll go over to we'll do Burke. Like I say, massive shout out to him in this game. His press was unbelievable. Like I say, especially on the first goal, it sort of seemed like he was free roaming, in a sort of CDM role, as well as obviously that right centre back role. And yeah, very good. Obviously still getting minutes under his belt. Hopefully, like I say, he doesn't get injured, because we know what his injury record's like. So yeah, Reece Burke, really, really impressed with him. I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to go with a 9 for Burke. Again, part of that clean sheet, mate.
Yeah, it was good seeing back and actually relishing it and stuff, getting forward. We did actually play similar in certain ways to when we played Bolton at home. I think it was in the replay. No, away. We just went at them and it was like Burke and that was sort of pushing up a little bit. But yeah, I thought he was decent. He was involved. He was, had a good tussle with Pedro, and he wasn't really tested defensively majorly, down his side kind of thing. Really, apart from Pedro times. I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, fair enough. Stephen's rating for Kaminsky is an 8. Jackie's coming with a 9 for Burke. Stephen says Burke worked hard, done well, commanding 8. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there we go with that. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Osho. Again, played really well. Really well. The defence as a whole was immense, and again, just doing his usual, clearing it away. When the ball's played, across towards where he is, and yeah, very good again. I'm going to go for Osho. I'm going to go with a 9 again.
Yeah, I'm giving Osho a 9. He was fantastic. He's really, really, another one that I said to you said before on How to Show, like he's a good player. And I like the way he's got that confidence to carry the ball out of defence as well. Very, times his tackles perfectly. Now, he had a couple last season where he was a bit unlucky with some as well, to be fair. But now, just immense. Like, playing in the middle as well. For Lockyer, which we haven't mentioned. It's good to see and getting a round of applause and that before the game. Doing a little lap of honour and that probably that definitely added to the atmosphere. But the players have still got to go and do it, haven't they? So I thought he was immense, and one of them guys is probably going to get dropped for Menji, but 9 for me.
Yeah. Jackie says 9.5. Osho, nothing beating. Pedro, nothing. Ferguson, 9, no question. Yeah, exactly. And then moving on to Bell, again, I say it. I do have worries about him in the centre-back role, but it's because he's not consistent there sometimes. But the last couple of games, he has been. Everton in the FA Cup is very good. In the first half, especially, again, in this game, first half, making them runs forward, getting on the ball, thought he's really good again. Part of that clean sheet. I'm going with 8.5 for Bell.
I'll give him 8.5. He was making some good runs forward. He's looking as confident as he was when he was in the Championship. And he is, again, like we weren't that tested. We when we do get tested about that, like you say, that is when, question marks can be there. But, you can't really drop him at the moment because, it's captain material. His passing, a range of passing is pretty decent most of the time. And as I said, he gets the team going forward as well. So, part of him and kind of Doughty, like really, they're the reason that Giles is like, we signed you, record signing, 5 million, but you ain't getting in this team at the moment, mate. You're going to have to bide your time, and obviously didn't want to. So, that's fine. But, 8.5.
Yeah. Jackie says 9. Steve says Bell, okay, I don't rate him, but Tuesday controlled the ball well, dribble out of defence and simple passes. Well done to him. 8. Yeah, exactly. He just done the simple stuff. And then moving on to the wing backs, we'll start off with Doughty. You could say he got the pre-assist for the fourth goal. But it's set pieces. Every time we had corners in this game, I thought they were good crosses, they were dangerous, and again, pretty good performance from him. So I'm going to go with I'll go with 8.5 again.
Yeah, 8.5. Worked hard. You know what you're getting now from Doughty, game in, game out, pretty much. Always got the potential. Corners brilliant. Just felt like at times that Bartley took a couple of free kicks, which weren't, great. But I was thinking like maybe, but I could see that working. He's maybe needs to just do it more. Remember the times when Bree kept taking free kicks and messing them up, and then it clicked. And Bartley's not going to take long for him to click it. It does give you that other option. But Doughty was everywhere, worked his socks off as well, which he always does. 8.5.
Yeah, like you say on the free kicks, there was one that we had in a similar position to when we played Gillingham. Obviously, Doughty scored from that as well, so it'd been good to see him take that one on, but it was Ross Barkley at the end. But it's one of them. Like you say, they're obviously working on something there. Jackie says Doughty 9. Fair enough. Doughty works tirelessly. Set pieces, corners, tracking back 8.5, says Stephen. Yep, fair enough. And then moving on to Chio, obviously on the other side, got the second goal really well. Technically got pre-assist as well. The first goal, really good performance from him in that right wing back role. After that performance, it's hard to, because obviously Kouare is back now. It's hard to take Chio out anyway. In my opinion, especially with Kouare, you might have a bit of a jet lag, that sort of thing as well. I'd still be going with Chio, in the game tomorrow. But yeah, really good performance from him. So I'm going to go with I'll go with 9.5 for Chio.
Yeah, 9.5. He's up there for being man of the match. Good goal, involved in the first, working hard, confidence, intelligence. When he took it past, played it past their player, the player clotheslined him.
Yeah.
He's unreal. He's I don't know if we even paid for him. I think we did, but he's probably definitely one of the bargains of the season. And it's worked. Like I say, 9 times out of 10 our signings work. Sometimes you get them that don't work, but I think that was the thing with Giles as well. If someone's unhappy in the camp, then you work with them and go, right, because we don't want that in the whole squad. Where you had a little bit of morale before, but it didn't affect, because again, he went to the World Cup, and as soon as he come back, he was, he had his bags packed. So yeah, he's just unreal, like proper. Another Downsworth, right? And he will end up. It keeps playing like that. It'll be so hard to keep hold of him. He's powerful as well. If he can consistently perform like that, of course, I could see a number of top 6 teams looking at him 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
9.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jackie's also gone with the same. Steve says, Chio, what a machine. Like him to be more forward, obviously. Obviously, would want to see, as it goes on, obviously, the new signing in right wing back, which I do agree with. With Chio right forward, 8.7. Luke says Luton's best home form. Yeah, for sure, mate. Getting 4 goals, clean sheet. And it's like you say, though, Dan, a lot of performances have been up there, but this one's obviously the standout because we were just at it, from can you even say minute 1? Say to 19 seconds, you know what I mean? So we're unlucky not to get more as well. Right, let's be honest now. So yeah. But yeah, moving on to the midfield. Lukonga obviously got the assist for the second goal. And, like you said, Dad, we were, worrying in a way about Nakamba obviously being out. But now it's got to that stage when Nakamba is back. It's going to be hard you can't just put him straight back in, because how well Lukonga's done. And obviously Barkley, you're always going to go with him because it's top performances from him every week at the moment. So, yeah, Lukonga, very good. He's settling in very well. Obviously, I watched his interview earlier. He's obviously trying to get in the Euro squad. So, his ambitions are very, very high right now. Obviously, he loves, playing for us. You can see it. And he's starting to do really well. Last couple of weeks, he's been phenomenal, alongside Barkley. So for me, when it comes to Lukonga's rating, I'm going to go with I'll go with 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5. He got a yellow, bit unlucky, really. But again, just works his socks off, and now he's really gelling with the rest of the team. Obviously, he loves playing alongside Barkley as well. And yeah, great pass, perfect timing. 8.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He was very good. Lukonga 9.5, says Jackie. Fair enough. Lukonga improving all the time, loving him. Edwards sign him up. Yeah, it'd be really good if we could get him tied down for sure. But yeah, moving on to Barkley. Again, was good in this game. Like I say, his through ball passing was exceptional. Obviously played it to Clark. Clark unlucky not to score. Then obviously done it shortly after for Elijah. He scored, so he got an assist. His free kicks could have been a bit better, like we said, but his hold-up play yet again was absolutely phenomenal. You can see the Premier League quality, and he's loving it. He is loving it. Obviously, you see the celebrations with Elijah as well. He was absolutely loving it. So Barkley, I'm going to go 8.5 again.
Yeah, 8.5. He we didn't see too much of him early on, but we didn't need to. This is what I'm saying. A lot of times we look for him to get us out of like certain situations, sort of passing it around and that. We didn't really need that, but when we did need it from him, he done it. Obviously got a great assist. He's intelligent as well. He's always looking, and that's what we're working with, because we know that he's looking for that as well. It enables the players to go and make that little extra run, like run around the back of their defender and things like that. And yeah, and I just wanting him to score. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's getting into them positions every single game. In this game, there was one we got for him. Burke was like, give it to me, and he eventually gave it to him. Burke had a shot, got a corner out of it. But yeah, 8.5.
Yeah. Barkley 9.5. Barkley does what he does. The Barkley of old, yeah, exactly. Wild card for England squad. Oh, for sure. You know, we've always said it. You know, he should be in the conversation. Will he get in it? Probably not, because it's Southgate. You know, pick Henderson over him, you know, or even Phillips. You know, someone like that, which just shouldn't be the case. But you know, is what it is. Unfortunately, but yeah, no, absolutely phenomenal again. And then moving on to the front three, we'll start off with Clark. Like I say, I felt very sorry for him in this game. You know, his goal ruled out, very unlucky. Very good in this game. Like I say, standout players taking away Elijah. I'd have put Clark up there. Like I say, second Premier League start as well. You know, he's very good in this game. You know, so for me, Jordan Clark, I'm going to go with 9 for Clark.
Yeah, 100% 9. Unlucky not to score. Like, you know, playing crisp, nice passing, getting in the box, like just all over the place. You know what I mean? Yellow card, yeah, it's why he took the player out a little bit. But that's Clark obviously lately as well. Like he's I swear he's picked up yellows in the last few games, but you know, so unlucky not to score. Looks really confident, like you said earlier. He's only just getting back into the team. So he started as well, so that tells you a lot. Yeah, 9 for me.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely brilliant. Like we say, so yeah, like you say, if he does get into them positions at some point, he will definitely score. You know, it'd be sick because obviously he got the goal in the playoff final as well. So yeah, it'll be brilliant for him. Jordan 9.5 says Jackie. I was going to say that. I was going to, but yeah, I've gone with a 9. Clark, man of the match. Fair enough. Ran, tackle, good passing. Hungary, 9.1. Yeah, no, fair enough. Like I say, he is up there for a standout for me. Taking away, obviously, Elijah. But yeah, moving on to Elijah. Obviously, got a hat trick. You know, thoroughly deserved. Like I say, I'm very happy for him. Deserved it. You know, and very well taken goals. You know, his control as well, very good. You know, in this game, and big up to him because he's got a lot more goals. You know, he's up there now. He's up there in the Premier League. He's got more goals than Nunes, Richarlison. You know, that's just a few to name. You know, and you look at the price tag of Elijah compared to them. It's a bit mad, isn't it? So yeah, for sure, it's gone up now. Like I say, he's got more hat tricks than Rashford as well in the Premier League. So yeah, big up to Elijah, and yeah, it seems like playing him up front. You know, when it's him and Morris is more beneficial to us at the moment. You know, obviously getting a hat trick, and I feel, you know, like I said on the last hat show, you know, his pace to get him behind as well. You know, whereas Morris was sort of static at times, and he's good at holding up the ball as well, Morris, and, you know, playing them balls forward, that sort of thing. But yeah, big up to Elijah. It's only right that he gets a 10. You know, hat trick. Not saying everything he turned to goal, so 10. Man of the match.
Yeah. You know, he's just his confidence at the moment, you know, from that game against, was it Tottenham where he missed?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And then since then he started to come on. And then the last few games, last month or two, he's really picked up, looks sharp, he's dribbling, and that is, we knew it was good anyway, but like it's effective now in the Premier League. Looks dangerous, he's a big lad, always causes problems for defenders, like one-on-ones and that near the keeper, and there he's scoring, mate, 10 times out of 10, I swear. Really vital, could be vital for us as well. And I'm really pleased for him because, you know, I've always liked Elijah, you know what I mean? So yeah, man in the match for me as well. Really pleased that he got a hat trick. You know, that's so good. 10.
Yeah, got to be, hasn't it? Jackie says 10. Steve says nearly man of the match, but first hat trick for Luton in Premiership, first since 1990. Yeah, yeah, you're correct there. Steen, yeah, it was. It was, yeah. It was. Obviously, I wasn't quite live for that, but yeah, I see that going into it. Well, sorry, after the game, shall I say. But yeah, there you go. Elijah is before that he didn't get any votes so far in this thing we do. Dad. Now he's shot up there and got 2. So yeah, there you go. And then moving on to Morris, obviously the last player that started out the 11. I thought he was unlucky in this game. You know, a few people saying he weren't great. I thought he was unlucky. You know, that shot he had in the second half. You know, where obviously Clark got onto it, unfortunately didn't count. You know, his hold up play was good, and like I say, I just feel he's better in that role for now. And again, you know, even though he didn't score the other day, I still feel to start him tomorrow. So yeah, for me, Morris, I'll go 8.5 for Morris.
I thought he was really good. I'm gonna lie, like you know, his hold up play he was actually winning fouls as well.
Which was, yeah, that was weird to see that he was actually getting like there was 3 that I could think of. Yeah,
he got the assist for the 18-second goal.
Yeah.
You know, he's unlucky in the last couple of games. He's been in the right place at the right time. He's thriving having Elijah with him. It's definitely made a difference. And you know, he'll score. He'll score like probably soon as turning up. I'm going to give him a 9.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And let's not forget about Morris. He is the second top goal scorer for us as well. You know, and he's still massive for us. You know, for sure. Jackie says Morris 9.5. Yeah, fair enough. Morris looked dangerous, had an assist. Yeah, of course. Like we say, the early on goal. He's gone with an 8. And then moving on to the subs. Obviously, we did 5 in this game. The first 2 were Ruddock and Townsend. For once, the subs, you know, usually when they come on, they're, you know, trying to impact the game. But these, because of the position we were in, you know, they didn't really need to. It sort of just, you know, shut up shop, really. So Ruddock in this game, few touches that I can think of. You know, I'll go Ruddock. I'll go for 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. He was all right doing it again, like he has been when he's been coming on. You know, it must be hard for Ruddock as well. Like, let's be honest. Like, you know, now being second fiddle in midfield, but where he's used to starting every single game. But he's a proper professional. When he's come on, he's still involved. I just want him to get a goal though. Any penalty he got, if he's on the pitch and we're 3-0 up, give it to him. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to see. But yeah, 7.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, he's scored in every league, and that's a sick with us as well. Jackie's also gone with 7. And then moving on to Townsend, you know, being able to bring players like this on, you know, is quality. Like I say, I was a little bit surprised it didn't start. But yeah, you know, obviously it worked in the end. Townsend, I'm going to go, I'll just go another 7.
Yeah, 100%. 7. You know, come on, he's worked hard, running his socks off and that. And was comfortable on the ball, you know, and was still involved in us still going for that press all the way to the end. So yeah, 7.
Yeah. 7.5 for Townsend, says Jackie. Stephen says the subs, it worked well. So yeah, Ruddock, he's gone Ruddock 7 and Townsend 7 as well. And then obviously Chong come on. Didn't quite, like I say, the subs didn't quite need to make an impact like they have to in other games this season. Chong again, I'm just going to go with another 7.
Yeah, 100. Same again, man. You can't like they've just all come on and done and carried on that flow.
Yeah, and then Berry and Woodrow will just go over 7.
Yeah, because they all come on and contributed to that. Got close, was all doing the same job as each other and carrying that you know that momentum going. Basically, none of them was like slack off and didn't really have a touch. They're all involved, which was again that's massive to see.
Yeah,
that's not a one-off. You know, it wasn't even the fact that Brighton were bad. We just went at them.
he didn't let them do anything.
Prime Premier League team, and they're a good side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
they're quality on the pitch. Estupinian's just come back. You know, Milner obviously went off. Pedro, you know, bit weak in midfield, I think, for them, to be honest. But this team's done well this season. Especially defensively at times. I guess. They're not seven. They weren't seventh in the table for no reason, going well in Europe. And to do what we've done to them, that's massive. That is a real statement. And I've said for a while, we need to go on a little run. Kind of have, but we've had 3 FA Cup games in between that. So for me, I want to see that continue in the league a little bit. We have got some nice games coming up. Tomorrow's obviously very difficult, but I could see that potentially going tits up to a certain extent. But we've got games coming up where we definitely winnable at home. Sheffield United, definitely. Play like that against Sheffield United. You're winning the game. Sorry, you're winning the game.
Oh, for sure. You even look at Burnley, you would say right now worse than us. They've beaten 5-0. If we turn it on like that and we play like that against Brighton, you never know. And that is a game you look at. And like you say, Dad, we've got a lot of them coming up. Forest, we still got to play Forest at home, still got to play Bournemouth at home. Them sort of games you're targeting 3 points, you'd try and stay in the league. So, yeah. For sure. Chong's 7, says Jackie. Chong, chomping at the bit to start, says Stephen. Yep, no, absolutely. Obviously, he was starting a lot of games at the start of the season as well. 7. And then other 2, Berry and Woodrow, 6.5, says Stephen. So there you go. They are the player ratings. Obviously, Elijah, rightly so. He's got man of the match. But yeah, a few close. Everyone was great. Everyone was great in this game. So, it's one of them. But the closer ones, I'd say, with Chio and who did I say it was? Chio and Clark. That was it. So overall, absolutely brilliant. Best performance of the season without shadow of doubt. And like I say, I was just really happy to see us actually go at someone like that, because I've said it. If we do that, we can beat beat anyone at home, I believe. So it's good to see that. And like I said, and like you just said, that especially against Brighton, because they are a very good team. Like I say, even something we didn't mention, the FA Cup, they were doing very well in that. They're scoring goals for fun, and we shut them up to even get one. So absolutely phenomenal. And that is that. But moving on to a bit of a transfer roundup. Obviously, we'll do it. Obviously, the window closed last night. And our ins and outs, were as follows. So obviously, I made a signing yesterday, another one from Reading. So ins, obviously, Hashioka, Harris and Holmes. Obviously, Holmes has gone back out on loan, though, to Reading, as we all know. And then, obviously, the outs, Giles, obviously on loan. Pebble, again, on loan. And Piera on loan as well. They're the main sort of ones. Other than that, it's just, the youngsters going out to, St Albans and lower league teams. But yeah, obviously Harris obviously is a striker, got a lot of potential. Seems like he's one for the future. When it comes to that, which is interesting, to see what we do, because we have got a lot of strikers, when you think about it. Obviously, we've got a few out on loan as well. Obviously, McAtee, Joe Taylor as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what we do with that department, especially bringing him in now. That's another one. Hashioka is obviously the one we look at the most, because he'll be, actually in the squad, whereas the others won't be. At this current moment in time. And then obviously Giles went out to Hull, which was a heavy rumour, for a while now. So we knew that was going to happen. Obviously, it's with an option to buy, which they probably will buy him, to be honest, if I'm being honest. And then obviously Pebble, again, that was always going to happen. He was always going to go out on loan somewhere. I remember watching him. Sorry, not watching him specifically, but I remember seeing him when I went to one of the development games earlier on in the season. I actually got a picture of him. Proper nice guy. So obviously wish him the best there. He's gone to Scotland. And I believe if he's ready to play in time, they are playing the team Walton's at. this weekend. So might have to keep an eye on that one. See how that goes because Walton's obviously been in goal for them, and if Pebble comes on or even starts, that'll be an interesting battle there. And then obviously Pierre has gone out on loan again. We knew that was always going to happen. But then thinking about it, it's quite interesting with a few. Like Fred obviously come back. He hasn't gone anywhere. That's interesting. Obviously, if he was going to be in the squad, he would have been in recent games. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen with him. Will he just play in the development games? I mean, you have to because there's nowhere else he can go. You know, didn't Elliot Thorpe get recalled as well? But I think his was a bit different because he was injured. So it's interesting. It's interesting. What do you rate it out of 10, Dad?
Well, we haven't, we was muting about, oh, maybe we should get a striker, maybe we should get this, that, now. But, we knew we needed a defender. We've got defenders coming back now, and we feel like we've got enough there. So we definitely needed a right back. We knew that. That's our weak point, in my opinion. And we've covered that. And, who knows? There's still last couple of times, we got Barkley after the transfer window. I think Townsend after the transfer window, free agents, and maybe we'll be looking at that as well. We don't need to spend loads of money in January. Sometimes I think it's a bit silly to do that. And you can get a bargain or whatever, or someone who's a great signing who's going to help you over the years. But generally, do you know what I mean? It's a little bit panicky. So I'm quite pleased with it. So Fred and that, we'll see what happens. I think it'll probably just be in and around, like as you said, the development squad. Maybe there is scope to add in, but I can't really see it now because we kind of got that area covered. But so obviously he'll probably end up going in, even if we get relegated, he'll end up going. I think now, because again, you're above that level without no disrespect. You know what I mean? But you move. So, yeah, 8.
8. Yeah, fair enough. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one for sure. Like you say, we've got players coming back in that defensive area. We seem to, like Bell in that left centre back role as well. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Obviously, maybe I was thinking maybe get, someone with that experience up front. But you see what Morris and Elijah are doing now. It's they're doing obviously well together, and obviously you've got Townsend with that experience up there as well. So yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. What would you guys rate the window? It's interesting for me. I'll probably go with I'll probably go about 8 as well. To be honest, same as you. But that is that. But yeah, it's all interesting. But yeah, moving on to obviously the next game, which is Newcastle United away in the Premier League. Interesting one. Like I say, it's a very difficult place to go to, as we all know. Like I say, they lost no more than 2 games last season there, and they will be, seeking revenge, obviously, after that game not too long ago. Obviously, it's, quicker turnaround now of all these games at the moment. But, going into it, obviously, Newcastle are 8th. If they do win, they could go level on points with United, but obviously United could, extend the gap if they beat West Ham. So yeah, obviously they're level on points with Brighton as well. Brighton obviously got the derby; they want to bounce back. As for us, obviously we're 17th. If we do win, we can go level on points with Brentford. They'll still be above us unless we won, which is not going to happen. 5-0. Then we would actually be level with the same goal difference. But yeah, we could go above Forest as well. So we could go up 16th. Realistically, if we were to win, Forest have got a tough game as well. They got Bournemouth away, so that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I believe it's the same time as well. So yeah, and obviously, even if we draw and Forest don't win, we'll be level on points, and we'll actually go up 16th anyway because we got better goal difference at Forest if they weren't to win. So, you know, it's sort of in that position now where we, could extend it even more. Obviously, that win against Brighton obviously took us out of the relegation zone, put Everton back in it. So it's interesting, but insight going into it. This is the first time Newcastle are hosting Luton in a league match since September 1992, beating them 2-0 in the second tier under Kevin Keegan. Luton are looking to complete a league double over Newcastle for the first time since 1937 to 38. However, they're winless in their last 21 visits to the Magpies, drawing 5, losing 16. It's not great to hear from our side of things. Newcastle have lost just one of their last 17 Premier League games against promoted sides, winning 9, drawing 7. Though obviously that was their recent match in a reverse fixture against us. So that's good to hear. From our side of things, indeed, Luton could be just the second promoted side to do the double over the Magpies in the last 7 seasons, after Leeds in 2020 to 21. Newcastle have lost their last 2 Premier League home games, as many as their previous 16 at St James's Park, winning 13, drawing 1. They lost 3 in a row in January, February 2021 under Steve Bruce. And last one on this bit, Luton have won 3 of their last 5 Premier League matches, drawing 1, losing 1. More than they managed in their first 16 league games this season, winning 2, drawing 3, losing 11. Averaging 2.2 goals in these games, 11 in 5 games, doubling their average in their first 16 games, which was obviously 1.17 goals. So, it's interesting. It's interesting there. When it comes to more on it, there's stats there that do favour us, but then there's some do favour Newcastle. So it's interesting. And obviously, especially us managing to obviously beat them. Obviously out of their last 17. In that sense, against promoted sides. But yeah, obviously injury news going into it. Obviously we've got a trio back. We've got Menji back, which obviously that was only a minor injury against Brighton. Jacob Brown's also back, and obviously Kabore is back as well. So yeah, that's that when it comes to that. Hashioka, Rob Edwards says on him, he will travel to St James's Park, but it's unlikely to feature as he continues to bed into his new surroundings. Fair enough. So yeah, it does mean the town have options in defence going into their longest journey of the season. And then Rob Edwards going into it, he said, I'd certainly rather have hard decisions to make. It gives us flexibility and backup if we need to adjust or change anything in games. Whoever has come into defence this season has performed really, really well. And then he also says we've got Clicker, Brownie, Chongi, Andros, Cooley. We need those threats, said the manager. Goals are hard to come by in the Premier League, so the more people we have informed, the better. So that's that when it comes to that. The usual thing that comes out, match preview, it hasn't quite actually come out. So I can't really tell you who's the referee and that sort of thing. But yeah, like I say, it's going to be a very difficult game. At St James's Park, one of them grounds. And like we said earlier, also it's very hard to create atmosphere in that away end because how high up you are. But sure, we'll still hear the fans definitely in that one. But I'll say they rarely lost there this season. Last season. This season, obviously, they lost their last 2. Obviously, that unexpected, let's be honest, defeat to Nottingham Forest at home. And then obviously they narrowly lost to Man City. To be fair, it's Man City, so you can't really be too disheartened with it. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? Though.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, it's going to be difficult, like I say, with that. Absolutely, but our fans will be buzzing, the players will be buzzing. I do feel like Newcastle are going to try and come out straight away to shut our fans up and then try and affect us. It's how we deal with that. It's good that we've got quite healthy numbers to choose from. We've got them threats, and I think that's probably what's going to help us get some sort of result. So I'm feeling, on one side, we haven't done well there, but I think we're really kicking on, and I think we can get a result there.
Oh, I didn't mean to click on that comment. Yeah, hopefully, for sure. But yeah, let's get into the lineup. We would go with in this game. So obviously we've got the options back, or a lot of options back, shall I say, as Rob Edwards says. In goal, obviously Kaminsky. The back three in this one, I'm going to go with Bell, and then I'm going to go Osho in the middle of that, and I'm gonna put Menji back in. You know, you could flicker between Burke and Menji, I would say, but I am going to go with Burke. To be fair, even in the FA Cup, Menji was in the middle of that back three, and Burke was on the right, so it might even be like that potentially. But that's what I'm going to go with when it comes to that. The CDMs obviously, you know, speak for themselves. Obviously, Barkley and the Conga. On the left side, I am going to go with Doughty. I don't know why I was sitting there debating that, to be honest, especially when I put Bell in left centre back. And then the right side, I'm going to go with Chio. You know, in this one, like I say, it's hard to drop him for me after his performance the other day. Also, like I say, Kawhi probably might have a bit of jet lag. So I'd put him on the bench. And then the three up front. In this one, I'm going to go Townsend on the right because of that, you know, experience in a game like this. And then I'm going to go with Morris and Elijah. There could be shouts for Clark, and I would understand that. Like I said, obviously I'd put him up there. But I just feel, you know, this sort of game, go with the experience, you know, because like I say, it's going to be a very difficult game at St. James's Park. So that's what I'm going to go with, lineup wise. So Kaminsky in goal, back three, Bell, Odo, Mendy, Doughty on the left, Chio on the right, Barkley and Lukonga as the CDMs, and then Morris on the left side, Townsend on the right, Elijah up front. So that's my lineup. So let me just get rid of that. Dad, your lineup. There you go.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's basically exactly the same as yours.
There you go. Great minds think alike, eh?
You know, I can see, you know, justification for Clark starting, but then I'm thinking we're away. I think we're going to need that little bit more now. Do you know what I mean? That experience. And Kabore, I don't think he'll go straight back into the team. You know, he's had a few games, been hot out there as well, things like that. I think he'll be on the bench. But Chio for me will start. Doughty, just everyone will be starting. And then we've got a strong bench, you know, when we think about it, you know, as well. So yeah, that's my lineup.
Yeah, exactly same. There you go. I think that might be the first time we've done that, or at least first time for a while anyway. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, like I say, it's gonna be a difficult game, you know. Your score prediction, Dad?
Well, I've got a feeling it's going to be a bit like Blackburn game from a couple of seasons ago, where we play it right, and then we get pegged back a little bit. But I do think we're going to come back and at least get a point. I think we'll use our bench well. We've beaten recently. Yeah, we was at home, but it was quite comfortable. We didn't even play at that level. We played up against Brighton. You know, they struggled to get any sort of kind of massive rhythm going. Yeah, they had a couple of injuries. They've still got a couple of injuries as well, I believe. But I think we can get a result. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I've heard their striker situation. They don't know if certain players are going to be back, like Wilson, even though he didn't really do much against us last time. To be honest, the best thing he done was have an argument with Kaminsky. So, you know,
it means Eddie Howe's may not be
on the touchline. Yeah, and I see it in their. I didn't watch it, but I see it when I was scrolling through YouTube. Tyndall was actually doing their pre-match thing, so probably tells you that he might not be in it anyhow. So that, like you say, that could benefit us as well, and that might mean Graham Jones might be the assistant for tomorrow. So that's gonna go down pretty well, isn't it? But yeah, fair enough. Would you say 2-2? Yeah, like the Blackburn game. I've gone with the same. I've gone 2-2 as well. Like I say, it's going to be a very difficult game. If we could get a draw out there, I'll be very happy with that. So I say it is one of them grounds that it's just very difficult. I would put them up there, with the likes of, when you go to Anfield, Etihad, as one of them difficult places to go. So for sure, I'll take the draw as well. But yeah, goal scorers, Dad, and then we'll get into your guys' predictions.
I keep saying it, and we're Ross Barkley. I'm going to say, obviously, I want Elijah to carry on that, but I think that they'll work hard on shutting him down, but they won't be able to shut down Colton Morris. So I'll go Morris and Barkley.
Nice. I'm going to go Morris and I'll go Morris and Elijah. I think I might have said that against Brighton, funny enough. But yeah, I'll go with them again. With this one, Chris has gone 1-1. Take that definitely. Paul has also gone 2-2. No, they're not. No, they're not. As much as I say they're very difficult last season. They have lost their last 2 at home. So take that into account as well. But yeah, Jackie says I'm going to go over 2-1. Everyone's saying we'll lose this week. I just think we could do it. Couple new hatters. I absolutely love the positivity. I'll tell you what, if we went there and got 3 points, geez. But then again, like I say, it's not impossible. Like I say, a couple of weeks ago, Nottingham Forest beat them, and they're obviously in the same sort of position as us. Like I say, if we even draw and they don't beat Bournemouth, we can go above them, so, or lose to Bournemouth more so, actually. So it's interesting, and even if we win, so you never know. You never know. But that would be a proper statement, in my opinion. Obviously the other day was a very good statement.
Especially with the next game being Sheffield United at home.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. Burnley and Sheffield United aren't good enough and been pathetic, while Luton are giving a fist of it staying up. My club were like, you lot are serious about staying up. But yeah, no, we are. We're doing the best for sure. Out of the promoted teams, definitely. Paul says Barkley to score. Thing is, I keep saying it. I want to go with him, but he just doesn't. He doesn't. He's not doing it at the moment. He's still playing very well, but he's just not quite getting that goal.
Scored against them in the last game.
Yeah.
Remember? So,
yeah. Doing the vlog from home when he hit the ball. That was literally after we scored as well. So you never know. You never know. Isak and Elijah, the machine. Oh, Isak definitely available. Because, like I say, I heard they might even, if Wilson's not available, might even stick Gordon in the middle, which would be interesting. But yeah, Elijah, yeah, no, fair enough. That's understandable after the other day. But, Dad, any final things you'd like to say?
No, come on. We've found ourselves. This is it. I think we can go on a little run. I keep sending you my little 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 game predictions, trying to be honest and stuff like that. And I said to you before that we'd go on a little run. I think I said we'd beat Chelsea. That was the only kind of difference. We was unlucky in that game, but it has kind of panned out that way a little bit. And after seeing that performance, you're not going to be able to replicate that week in, week out. I don't think that's but you've got the confidence now. The possession we're having. They had more possession. Weirdly, it didn't feel like that, but they did. But they were passing it around the back a lot. I just think that we're much more confident. We're not going to be going into games sitting back, panicking, and things like that. And once you do that in the Premier League, you never know. When you watch settled teams, even like teams nearer the bottom of the table, whatever, generally, but maybe not Sheffield United at the moment, but Forest, Palace, they'll try and play where they can because they've got that experience, and that's where I think we've got to that. and everyone's just switched. And I said to you, once everyone gels together, then I think we'll be fine. And that's what's happening. So we'll see. There's always that little bit. You never know in the Premier League. Weren't they the ones who battered Sheffield United?
Yeah, 8-0, yeah.
Yeah. So you do never know. You've just got to be on it. You can't get overconfident. But we're not like that. That's the thing. So I think that's going to help us. I think Burnley won 5-0 and then went dull again. We can't be doing that. I don't think we do. As long as the performance is there, that's it. If we lose 2-1, whatever, as long as the performance is there, that's the main thing. I don't want to see us not turn up. We've only really seen that.
I'd say the Brentford game. That was it.
Brentford, yeah. Villa a little bit.
Oh yeah, and Villa actually, yeah.
And we can't be doing that away anymore. And I think that's where the change is. I think that's what you can see tomorrow.
Yeah. No, hopefully, for sure. But yeah, that is the end of the Hat Show. So big up to everyone that tuned in. We are currently on 13 likes, so big up to yourselves. Obviously, do subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. A few new subscribers over the last couple of days, so big up to yourselves as well. And do subscribe to the extra channel as well. Obviously, Nightbot has put it in there, so you can just go over to that. And it is also in the description as well. And yeah, we should be back again with a vlog from home from this tomorrow. I think it's only right as well that we've done a reverse fixture. So I think it's only right we do one again, Dad. And then hopefully we'll do one again next week to that massive game against Sheffield United. So yeah, obviously, like I say, smash a like if you haven't already. Do subscribe to this channel. Do subscribe to the extra channel. And follow me across all my socials as well if you haven't already. And we did hit over 800 followers on TikTok. I've not even had that account for a year. So yeah, big up because I know a few of you have followed that up as well. So big up to yourselves. And yeah, until tomorrow, hopefully we will see you lot in a bit. And then obviously reaction. I'm going to try and get a Sheffield United fan on for the game. Obviously, I'll do that. We'll do that on Friday, and then we'll probably do a reaction Monday or Tuesday. I would say potentially Monday. To be honest, it probably makes sense to do it on that day. I'd say. So yeah, big up to yourselves, and until next time, we'll see you lot in a bit. So hopefully we get some sort of result. That'd be brilliant. Till then, take care and peace up the town.